I have several finishes to show you today. So I'm just going to try and hold them up over here. I don't have a place to hang them up where you can see the whole thing, but I'm going to try and hold them up one at a time. This is my blue scrappy quilt, and it was just made from leftovers from other projects. Everything had to have blue in it. Otherwise, not too many rules. Mostly squares and rectangles, and then a border. So I quilted this on my long arm, of course, and I just made, let's see, what did I make on this one? Swirls and some paisleys with little petals around those, make it look kind of florally. On the back, I have this blue with the variegated, it kind of looks like clouds against a blue background, and I have the same binding as the backing. This is a large throw size. It's a large throw size. Comes up over my head to down to the floor, so it's a nice size quilt. It's a lot of fun to make this, and I actually made this one. I pieced this one on my serger as an experiment, except for the borders. I went ahead and sewed the borders on. But as far as the blocks, I pieced those all on my serger. I'm still experimenting with it to see what all I can do with it. But there's my blue scrappy. This one is my pink scrappy, and I believe I had started this one last year before, sometime in 2025. This one is made out of mostly smaller scraps of all different kinds and sorts. They all had to have pink in them. That was my rule on this one. I have a lot of friendship stars in here. And I have just some little blocks of different types, squares, rectangles, half square triangles. I quilted this with a free motion floral, where I just made a flower and then echoed it, and then went back and made another flower until I covered the whole surface. The back is this cute pink daisy fabric, as is the binding also. So glad to have this one done. Not sure where it's going yet, or if it'll hang around with me for a while. So that's it for the pink scrappy. Next, I have this, what I call a lap size quilt. It's not as large as the other ones. This was made from leftover fabric from another larger quilt that I made, but this one is just the right size. It goes from about my chest to the floor. So it's a good size to put on your chair, your recliner, or on the back of your couch. This one, like I said, it was made from leftovers from another quilt, and maybe with some other things added in a little bit. Maybe the purple was added in, I'm not sure. I did some feathering on this one since it was a small quilt. So I just did some feathering and some little loops all over. Just all over feathering on this, and some loops to fill in the blank parts. Now I don't have this one bound yet, but it's ready for binding. So I thought I'd go ahead and show it with with my finishes for this month. The backing is just a floral with a white background. Has some of the same colors that are on the front of the quilt. So there is the birdhouse quilt, lap quilt. And I have the Care Bear quilt done. I've done 2 videos on this. I did do one of the quilting on the long arm, but I lost that video, part of it, and so I decided just to show the finished product. Okay, this is the one that my great-granddaughter started, and she made all of these. Well, she made 8 of these 9 patches like this, and then I made a couple more to go with it, and then I made the star blocks to go to alternate with those. It's a good size throw quilt. Comes from about my nose to the floor. I didn't measure them. I have measured them, but I wrote it down somewhere, but I didn't look it up. So here's this. It has blue and it has purple, light purple on the stars, and they alternate with the blocks. This one is backed with a pink and white flannel, very soft. Wash the flannel first, of course, and then the binding is the yellow that you see in the middle of the stars and on the 9 patches as well. So that's the Care Bear quilt in all of its glory, and my little great granddaughter will be happy, I hope, to get this back and see how good of a quilter she is. And last but not least, my great grandson, who's 18 months older than his sister. And we have here the gaming quilt, which I lovingly named it. And he also made the 9 patch blocks that are in here. Let's see if I can find one. Oh, right here in the center. There's the 9 patch blocks that he made. I think I had to make a couple more of those. No, he had all 4 of those made. I just had to make the star blocks, which are these, and also some that have more black in the center. So I made those, and then I made a couple more blocks out of the scraps. Let's see. I do have 3 videos on how I made this, so if you're really interested, you can go back and check those out. But different blocks. These are 17-inch blocks, so they're big blocks. There's 3 across by 4 down. I quilted this with just a simple meander. It'll be very sturdy, and I put a gray flannel on the back, sort of a variegated. And then for my binding, I just used the same fabric that was in the sashing, the border here. So that is the gaming quilt, all done. And like I said, there is no place for your eye to rest, so don't go looking for one. That's okay. It's what he picked, it's what he likes. And I think I forgot to tell you on this one that I just did a simple loopy meander for my quilting on this one. See those little loops there. Okay, so I think that's about it for my finishes for the month of May. So hopefully I will see you in June, and I will have some more finishes to show you then. God bless. Y'all have a great week.